Hi students, welcome back. So the next topic I am explaining in advanced computer architecture is difference between the multiprocessor and multi-computer. So you'll get a doubt why we are discussing the multiprocessor and multi-computer. Already we know the concept of it, and here you are saying that it is an advanced concept. Okay, come to that point. Actually, the next topic that I want to cover here is the multiprocessor and multi-computer architectures. The multiprocessor and multi-computer architectures like UMA, okay, NUMA, UMA, NUMA, COMA, COMA, and NORMA. So these are all the different types of architectures, the multiprocessor and multi-computer. So before explaining those concepts, just I want to recall what exactly the multiprocessor is, multi-computer is. Actually, you know the concept, so try to recall the concept again so that it will be useful for you to understand the concepts of the architecture. Okay, shall we start? Okay, so first is a multiprocessor. The name itself, it is saying multiprocessor, means in single system. So that means it is a single system. In single system, a multiple processors are there. Means the multiple processing elements are there in a single system. Multi-computers means a multiple systems are there. Multiple systems are there. So this is the main difference. Multiprocessor, it's only in a single system. You are having a multiple elements. Multi-computer means multiple system. So single system, multiple systems. Okay. So first coming to the multiprocessor. Single computer with multiple processors. So you will get a doubt, ma'am. We are having our multiple processor chips inside the system. Actually, you are having only one processor. It's a main core processor, the CPU, which is performing all the operation. So inside this processor, a multiple functional units are there. You call it as a processing elements. Each functional unit will perform different functions. One will be do the logic function, another will be do the addition, and another will be doing the multiplication or floating point, like that. In a single chip, you are having a multiple processor, multiple processing elements. So that is what the multiprocessor means, a single computer with multiple processing element. And coming to the multi-computers, multiple autonomous computers means each individual computer. This is one, computer 2, computer 3, are different computers. Each computer is having their own processor. Each computer is having their own processor. Now, multiprocessor. Each processing element, that is what I said. In processing element means the processor that is performing an operation, the execution, who is involving the execution part, doing some manipulation, that you call it as a processing element. So inside as a core processor, okay, in this core processor, you are having multiple processing elements. So each processing elements do not have their own individual memories. Clear, right? This is only processor. So each processor does not have any own individual memories and IO resources, okay, or shared. Means here all these processing elements are used to share a common memory. They don't have their individual memories. They don't have a memory, IO resources, everything. The memory, whatever the memory is there and whatever the IO is there, everything need to be shared by all processing elements. All processing elements need to share the same memory and same IO devices. So that why the multiprocessor we also called as a shared memory multiprocessor. We call it as a shared memory multiprocessor. Why? Because each processing element in a computer has to share a common memory and the common IO. So whenever they are sharing this element is sharing this memory and this is also sharing this memory, every processing element is sharing the same memory and same IO. Okay, so that's why we call it as a shared memory multiprocessor. Now coming to the multi-computer, what's happening here? Anyhow, it's an individual. Each processing element has its own memory and resources. So no sharing will be required because it is an autonomous computer. Each computer is having their own memory. Okay, to perform the storage operation, each processing element will use that memory only. So which is called as a distributed memory multi-computers. It's a concept of distributed memory multi-computers, and this is a concept of shared memory multiprocessor. Next, multiprocessor. Communication between processing elements is must. Obviously. So this is your processor, main CPU. Inside you are having so many processing elements. So a communication between the processing elements is must. Why must? Because suppose this processing element is using the memory, so another processor is also wants to use the same memory, there should be a conflict will be arises. So try to communicate the processing elements one of so it is intimating that okay, I'm using the memory, so you just wait, afterwards you can use the memory. So like that a communication should be established, otherwise the conflicts will be arises and you will get a different values. Suppose this is updating one value and it wants to access the old value, so there should be conflicts. That's why in a multiprocessor system, communication between the processing elements is must. Then coming to the multi-computer, anyhow they are autonomous computers, so you don't require the communication. A communication between the processing elements are non-mandatory. If you want, you can make it, but it's not mandatory because everything is it's independent. Now, multiprocessor. A multiprocessor is tightly coupled. Why I am saying this is a tightly coupled multiprocessor? A multiprocessor is a tightly coupled. Why I am saying it? Because due to high degree of resource sharing, each processing elements are sharing the same resources. Each processing elements are sharing the same resources. So obviously everything will be tightly coupled. One after the another they have to use the memory. So that's why multiprocessors are tightly coupled due to high degree of resource sharing. Whereas multi-computers are loosely coupled. We call it as a loosely coupled. Why? Because as there is no resource sharing, there is no mandatory resource sharing, because each processing element is having their own memory and own IO resources. Then why it has to share the resources? So that's why it is free. Bindas, it will be free, loosely coupled. The multi-computers are loosely coupled. Each computer is independent. But whereas here multiprocessor, it is tightly coupled. Why tightly coupled? They have to be shared resources. Next, multiprocessors use dynamic network. Even though it is a tightly coupled, it will use dynamic network. Why? Because the communication links can be reconfigured. Every time the communication between the links can be reconfigured. So one processing element is communicating with the E1 and the E2, and again next it is updating with the E3, like that. Means every time the links can be reconfigured. So that's why it uses the dynamic network to reconfigure the communication links. Whereas multi-computers uses the static network. They don't need to be dynamic network. They don't require the dynamic networks because continuously they don't need to change the configurations of the communication links. So that's why multi-computers uses the static network. The connection of switching units is fixed. Now coming to the three types of multiprocessor architectures. The three types of multiprocessor architectures are UMA model, NUMA model, and COMA model. Uniform memory access, non-uniform memory access, cache only memory access. Okay, so this is the three types of multiprocessor architectures. Now coming to the multi-computer. A multi-computer architecture is only one type of multi-computer architecture, that is the NORMA model. You also called it as a distributed memory multi-computers. So these are the different types of architecture. So I want you to explain each and every architecture model in detail in the coming videos. So that's why first I explain the difference between the multiprocessor and multi-computer. If you understand the concept of multiprocessor and multi-computer, then you can try to implement the architecture very easily. Okay, so in the next video we will see the UMA model. Thank you.